Hello, everybody. This is Anthony Bionis from Mission Start Podcast. It has been a while, but we have another episode of the Conover. By the time you're listening to this, it is 2016. It is January 1st, which is Happy New Year. And hopefully, for those who are listening to us does not have a huge hangover, today I'm bringing in oh man, I forgot your name already.
Oh, damn. Chris.
Chris. So Chris is joining us. The Chris from the East Coast, not my brother, but he's joining us to talk about everything Aniwave and Crystal Coast Con. You want to start with Crystal Coast Con first, or do you want to do Aniwave?
Crystal Coast Con first.
All
That
right.
way the memory's still fresh and I don't want to keep digging.
Gotcha. All right. So, Crystal Coast Con, what was different this year than last year?
Oh, the sci-fi theme was bigger. This year I took my friends, two of my friends along with me, and one of my nephews. My kid nephew, he's about 8. Yeah, and Crystal Coast Con takes place in October.
I see. Was this like during like around not Christmas, around Halloween time or?
Yeah,
Oh,
like
okay.
2 weeks before, a week or two before Halloween.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. All right. That's cool. Okay. Cool. So go on about what was different about this year than it was last year.
Um, since the new Star Wars movie was coming out, we saw a whole lot of Star Wars references
Mm-hmm.
because because if since the gallery's been up, some of you have probably noticed a large Darth Vader in one of them.
Yeah.
As soon as you walk in, that's what you will spot that very quickly. Because
Mm-hmm.
Mac Daddy's, where Crystal Coast Con has been being held, is a bar and a bowling alley too,
Mm.
with a miniature golf course and what do you want to call it, a go-kart arena
Oh, nice.
out on the outside. So when you walk in, you see the arcades, and where the large Darth Vader was, you saw it.
That's pretty sick.
But yeah,
It's pretty
it was
awesome.
cool. Yes. And along with that, you also had some of the horror thing too, being the time of the year it's being held, such as the guys from the Nightmare Factory in Havelock, North Carolina. I want to say Havelock, North Carolina. They could usually come as zombies.
Mm-hmm.
My nephew kept chasing after them for some reason. Yeah, we've been trying to explain to him that you don't run to the zombies.
Yeah, that's something you don't do.
I mean, running after the superheroes were fine, especially the superhero cosplayer group.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of like the Ghostbusters from last year. They go out into events as heroes.
Mm-hmm.
You probably saw them as with Superman and Captain America and Spider-Man together, or Batman with Spider-Man and Wonder Woman at the gallery.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they go out and basically more so, I believe, more so for charity.
Mm.
Um, Going along with the sci-fi slash horror theme, you had I want to say Michael Biehn.
Cool.
I I believe I'm saying his last name right. Some of you might remember him as the dad from the first Terminator movie,
Oh, right, right. Gotcha. Yeah, yeah.
and he was an Alien, one of the main characters from Alien.
Cool. Sick.
Yeah, yeah. My friend, since that's some of his favorite movies, particularly the first Terminator, he had a moment. He had a moment.
Go on. What kind of moment was this? Was he like just like head over heels, like over the cosplayer? Just like, oh my god, your costume is awesome.
No, no, no. We had the actual actor there,
Oh shit. Oh okay.
so it's like, oh snap, it's really him. I mean,
That's
he kept his he for the most part he kept his composure, but he did geek out. So,
I hear it. I hear it. That's cool. That's pretty awesome.
and
Cool.
then let's see, they had a Tekken tournament and a Mortal Kombat. No, there was supposed to be a Tekken tournament, call it the new Call of Duty tournament there, and I want to say Mortal Kombat as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then that was in the bar area near where they had the other side of the bowling green,
Right.
and next to them was the the Star Wars fan group and the Star Trek fan group. One being the 105th, the 501st Legion,
Yes.
and the Star Trek group next to him for the North Carolina chapter was on
Mm.
the opposite side, and he also had the Pro Wrestling Federation guys there. One of their champions was representing their group.
Sick. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to the 501st. I know they're pretty big. I know there's a big 501st Star Wars group out here in California. I mean, they're generally all over the U.S. and elsewhere, but yeah, shout out to those guys for sure.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they running deep. They had awesome. Their costumes were awesome too. So, and then we had a dad that did for the costume contest for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Now the dad, he was in the samurai Darth Vader outfit.
Sick.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. But his daughter and the next door neighbor kid, he designed their costumes too. His daughter, I believe, was the mini Predator, and the
Nice.
neighbor girl, her friend, was a mini Cyberman from
Oh.
Doctor Who.
Oh. Okay. Cool. Awesome. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't want to say I'm not mistaken, but there was a picture that was floating around the internet. It might be the same one where the girl is dressed up as Mini Predator. It was like little girl, has to be at least like 5 or 6. But it was like the description was like some girls want to be princesses, but some don't, or some along those lines. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. So yeah, that's really sick.
I know. It was so adorable seeing her come out with a contest before the judges, and it's like you guys have to give it to her. You have to. I mean, you just turned the corner and saw her standing there dressed like that, you would freeze. Like, hold up, wait, they come that size now? No.
Yeah, the what's the word I'm looking for? The magic of cosplay.
Hmm. I mean, it's impressive what I've seen some people do with it, and some of it they just outdo themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. It never ceases to amaze me. I mean, cosplaying for a while and seeing other cosplayers like how they pretty much make the same costume but with different materials is always a wonder to look at. It's really cool to see. And it never restricts age limits as far as like how old you have to be to keep cosplaying. It never is. So that's cool. I like that. I definitely like when little kids cosplay. I think that's the best.
Hmm. And then another thing that caught my attention was Dragonair. It's a how to explain it? Because when I this is my first time actually encountered something similar to LARPing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the thing is, they use Nerf weapons or padded weapons, and basically it's designed to where you can set up a team of your friends or whatever and have a battle.
Right.
And using each, you have like I want to say a weapon that matches the sword, and another one that matches a lance and a shield, and depending on from what I understand how the rules work, you can if you hit an arm, that arm can no longer be used, or and if your leg goes, then you're considered dead.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you get hit in the head, that's an instant.
Right, right.
And I did a whole section in the gallery of the battle I was watching outside,
Mm-hmm.
so that it was pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. And LARPing is a very, very interesting hobby, and I've seen some documentary videos about it. It's very interesting. And it's pretty cool too, as well. So yeah, it is a very interesting beast on its own. But yeah, that's cool. That's pretty awesome.
Then let's see, the other guests that were there, we had people from we had more characters from The Walking Dead. Um, let's see, Jack Stryfer from the original Battlestar Galactica.
Sick.
Three of the Red Ranger, the Blue Ranger, and the Pink Ranger from Power Rangers Time Force.
Oh, awesome.
We had Bill Blair, who was one of the main actors for alien actors from Star Trek, and I got him in the gallery as when he went on to don the whole Klingon makeup.
Oh,
And
nice. That's awesome.
yeah, he did a whole panel about how what it's like to go through a whole on the set, and you have to go through the makeup and get having to put on.
Awesome.
We also had Tim Russ. He was Commander Trebek from Star Trek Voyager.
Mm.
Yeah, we had a bunch of people here.
Damn, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and then the cosplayers were great. We had a Goku and a Frieza running around. Um, Matter of fact, the Goku was actually getting ready to try out with the LARPers,
That's awesome.
and we had a couple of Attack on Titan girls. I asked them have they seen the movie yet, the live action one.
Mm-hmm.
And they were skittish,
Mm.
and I told them they should be from what I saw.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, live action from an anime is like it never tends to go well half the time.
I don't know. To me they're usually better off having it inspired by anime versus trying to emulate it.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, considering what I've seen done with Pacific Rim, and I think there might be another one similar that had similar to that.
Mm-hmm.
They might be able to pull off the mecha
Right,
genre,
right.
or the ones that doesn't or the series that don't really involve special effects, the need for that many special effects.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go into having the full, or maybe even the fantasy driven ones, as long as it doesn't involve a whole lot of special stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But when you when you need a giant human that has to have a certain the Joker face,
Right, right.
and you have to apply physics that don't kill the actor but yet somewhat believable, you're pushing it.
Yeah, yeah. You are, you are. It's very hard to transition from anime onto live on the screen. Uh, it's a bit of a struggle because like on one side you're trying to appeal to like the general audience, but on the other side like you're trying to also appeal to like the um the hardcore crowd. So like anything that you get wrong per se is gonna get criticized, one way or another.
Mm,
Unless you can combine it well. Like an example would be just like any of the Marvel movies and how they managed to bring a lot from the comics, but at the same time appeal to a mass audience, and it's a huge
yeah,
success.
yeah. The Avengers and I want to say Thor, the last Hulk movie, and the first two Iron Mans,
Mm-hmm.
they did very well. And Captain America.
Yeah, definitely.
Spider-Man was okay. First one great. The second one, all right. The third one,
Mm-hmm.
I hated that Venom. I hated that Venom.
Right, right.
And when they made Peter Parker try to go, oh, I'm being influenced by the dark side, it's just no, no. He looks too goofy. I can't take him seriously.
Mm-hmm.
When he's dancing across the street, and I'm like, why is he discoing? I'm sorry, I can't take him seriously about the dark suit affecting his mind. No. And the bad thing is they didn't really go into what that symbiote was.
Right, right, yeah. It's yeah, it wasn't a good movie. I mean, Spider-Man 3 just became a more promotion of the comic than anything else. It was pretty bad. So, but we're gonna do
Yeah,
Hollywood.
yeah, Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
I, After seeing the live action Attack on Titan, I'm like, y'all can't complain about Dragon Ball Evolution no more. Y'all can't complain. I mean, y'all can make jokes about it in your new seasons of anime and whatnot, but after that attempt at Attack on Titan, no.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, to me, the best part of that whole movie was the movie created character. Sanagi,
Uh-huh.
Sanagi,
Yeah, yeah.
the big. I mean, he flipped the Titan into a building.
Mm-hmm.
He tossed him, and he's going around with a battle axe, doing more damage than the main characters from the actual thing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, something's wrong here.
Yeah, definitely. Um, so getting back to Crystal Coast Con,
Yes.
so what were some of the standout moments for you during that convention?
Yes. Hmm. The standout moments. Let's see. Um, One was watching the Nerf battle. I mean, the war, the fight, the outside battle with Dragonair, and
Mm-hmm.
when they were doing their demonstration on how the battle is or the fights are done. Um, Another is when I was talking to Jack Strafer about how he was discussing with me about how TV has changed,
Mm-hmm.
and he was giving me pretty much giving me a history lesson about certain profile people in Hollywood, in the television industry at this point in time when he was in it, and when Battlestar Galactica at that time was going on, and afterwards.
Mm.
That was pretty interesting, especially how he explained how certain character, a known character from that became on the show that went on the show Dallas, how he was close to not actually having a career, but the right people helped him,
Right, right.
and I was like, wow.
Hmm.
And it basically goes into who you know, and if you got good friends.
Right, yeah.
Um, let's see. Met some interesting authors, some very creative ideas. Let's see. Who else? My nephew tried to sweet talk the Pink Ranger. That was interesting.
Wow, really?
I'm like, you're 8 years old, but all right, I'm gonna watch this.
Wow, wow.
I am going to.
Is there any photos or video of this?
No, no, it's just him being adorable, but she just ate it up.
Wow.
She just ate it up.
Man, all right.
I mean, I got pictures of him posing with the professional wrestlers and stuff, but I just pretty much kept them for my mom.
Did you like tell him afterwards like you did good. You did good.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm like, I don't like this. Hope for you yet, kid.
That's great. That's
I mean, you
awesome.
had her giggling. You had her giggling, so I give you props.
That's great. That's awesome.
And then prior to that, we had all went on the go-karts.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I was hanging in there though, but trying to make sure that you don't bump into the next person was a problem. So I ended up end up making sure not to happen. Just like, you know what, go ahead. I'll try to catch it the next go around.
Well, like the entire time you're in the go karts, like any moment of time where you're thinking like Mario Kart, like at any given time when you're doing that.
No, not at the moment, but it's funny that you should mention it, considering that my one of my friends that went with me, he's done with retro on us and bringing back the classic games from N64.
Mm-hmm.
And Mario Kart is one of them, and I'm like, oh gosh. I mean, I'm fine playing it, but remembering those controls back again, because we like to play NBA Jam and Hang Time,
Mm-hmm.
and like the controls are screwy and the game be glitching,
Right.
and it's bad enough when the game has a history of cheating the player that
Mm-hmm.
it glitched now too because of how old it is.
Right. Right.
So that miss. That's what I call it. That miss.
Hilarious. Awesome. Um, in terms of like, out of your experience out of Crystal Coast Con, like, what do you feel um was the good, and what do you feel could have been improved upon this year?
Um, what was good to me? Hmm. What was good is that they really how hard the staff worked, and they really did their best to make sure people had a good time and that the guests were well taken care of and that certain rules in regarding the celebrity guests and the things that fall under with them and like especially the ones that deal with SAG or the Screen Actors Guild or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
that certain rules involving them and flash photography and their images being used was put and followed or certain guidelines are maintained
Mm-hmm.
because they have to be careful at certain because in certain places, certain events or certain celebrities because of the certain rules you have to be careful and have to get explicit permission and that you have to show that if you're working with this you can take the photo or if you a fan or here getting autographs or what you have to follow these rules because it's to protect it goes into whole liability issues and stuff. And I thought the staff was really great and making sure that that was well taken care of, as well as really providing an environment for people to participate in. Um, what probably could be improved upon is trying to um like creating a more like for the because we had everything going on, but like Mac Daddy's is an area is but so big
Mm-hmm.
that maybe if they had see because it was a nice clear day and during October prior to the convention it was kind of cold but it was warmer
Right.
that maybe that they could have more outside booths if the vendors or people if some vendors don't mind or more outside events
Mm-hmm.
to help ease congestion of the space
Right. Right.
or open up other areas of the of Mac Daddies that people are able to walk through, or that wouldn't be an issue.
Mm-hmm. I see. So the space wasn't really much utilized um, to its full potential. But this is like only its second year of its convention being around.
No, it's not a second year. I believe it's closer. Is it a second year or third year?
Hmm.
Um, I want to say third, but
Okay.
the thing is, it's been growing. So I'm wondering if that as it continues, will it actually start adding on, like for the events that they host, where they start adding, like utilizing the extra space if they can, like weather permitting, or if certain areas can be used, within within the building that doesn't won't provide us that won't cause a safety issue, because I
Right.
know like you can't really have people going further up the bowling lanes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when it comes to these conventions, especially early on, um, like uh, most conventions that are successful every year would get more of attendance as it grows, and generally the move would be, or the initial stages of a convention starting out is that if it gets bigger, get more space. If it gets bigger than
Mm.
that, move to a bigger venue, and so on and so on. So, um, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they start to use that unused space for next year. I'm not quite sure if we know what the numbers were in terms of attendance wise. Um, but
No, not really, but there are quite a bit of few people. There were a good deal of people there.
okay, cool. Yeah, I think that, yeah, in second, third year, I think they're still trying to figure things out and trying to feel like how what's the reaction to its convention, and like what are some things that we need to do to increase its in size. So I can definitely see that from that point of view, but I can respect that too. Like I think and I think in general, like I think this convention will grow to bigger space. It's just a natural progression of just like a convention growing each year. And from the sounds of things, it sounds like this convention has been a success so far for the years it's been around.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, awesome. Was there anything you wanted to point out uh, about Crystal Coast Con before we move on to Aniwave?
Yes. They have their Facebook page. Just type in Crystal Coast Con, and you'll be able to find it. And it's located in Cape Carteret on the coast,
Mm-hmm.
in North Carolina. The venue that they use is called Mac Daddy's. I believe the lady that runs the actual venue, I mean the actual place called Mac Daddy's, is the same lady that directs Crystal Coast Con. I know her as Miss Connie.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's usually held in October and within the middle of it of the month. And it's a one-day convention held on Saturdays. It usually starts at, I want to say, 10 and lasts to 6.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, like how much was the price to get in for the con?
The price?
Mm-hmm.
Um, let me see what I said. Trying to remember. I'm trying to remember what my friends paid. I want to say 10, but just to be sure, I should. I want to say either 10 or 8, but I don't want to steer anybody wrong.
Right, right.
Oh, they were 25. My mistake. They were 25 at the door.
Okay. And assume like if you prepaid earlier, it'll be at a cheaper price.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay. Cool. Awesome. Well, we look forward to for next year, and from the sounds of things, it looks like they are definitely working towards it. To definitely expand that space as well to really utilize it there. Okay, that's awesome. Good to know. Good to hear.
Mm.
All right, so tell me about everything Anywave. How was Anywave?
Anyway, it was fun. Anyway, it was very fun.
Okay.
I had a great time. Now, this is the first convention I went solo.
Ah, okay. How was that like?
I had to get up early, pick up. I had to get up early, pick up some stuff, and then head on down to Wilmington, North Carolina,
Hmm.
which is also on the coast. It's a port city, and it was an hour and a half drive,
Mm-hmm.
and this is one of the moments where North Carolina tends to have one area of the state tends to be a little chillier, but when you go further down south and east, it's it gets warmer.
Mm-hmm.
And by the afternoon while I was there, I had to ditch. I had to go back to the car and put up my leather jacket
Ah, I see.
because one, it's already heavy, and two, it's getting hot.
Mm.
It was, and at first I thought, well, because I'm in the building and we got a lot of convention goers here, so I'm like, okay, it's gonna get warm in here. But when I walk outside, I'm like, oh, okay, it's kind of mild. I mean, it's kind of warm out here too. So yeah, I had to put up the jacket.
Yeah, it tends to get pretty warm in conventions just because of the body heat that's like up the mass amount of people that go. So
Hmm.
yeah, it was good idea on your part to leave the jacket. So
Yeah, and then when I arrived there, yeah, it was still kind of early. It hadn't started the event. I arrived early enough before the events had started.
hmm.
So I took a few shots outside, and one of them includes a historical monument to this in the area. It's a battleship
Mm,
from World War II.
I see.
Yeah, so basically, if you walk towards the water edge where the convention overlooks, and depending on which direction you're facing, in my case, if I turned left, you can see it. You
Nice.
can see the top of it.
Awesome. Wow, that's really cool. The city must have been great.
Yeah. And not only that, you also have the people that own boats going by or like have a dock too
Hmm.
in front of the convention as well. So that was pretty cool too. Because like in one instance, a freighter, I don't want to say freighter, but like a ship passed by,
Hmm.
and that was pretty cool to watch. Because like last year we had helicopters going by.
Ah,
I
nice.
think they were from the Coast Guard though.
That's really cool.
So that was cool in itself. So when I was inside, I was meeting people. Um, was gotten this time I met more so cosplayers and vendors in some of the panels,
Mm-hmm.
and I got to see some like the demos and whatnot. Like there's a Shelling Academy in Wilmington that was giving a live demo there. I took pictures of them as they were performing, so that was pretty interesting to see.
Cool.
Let's see what's next. There was an anime trivia going on. That was fun. It seems like it seems like you can tell who's been around longer when it comes to certain shows or whatnot, and who will recognize them more, or what shows have that recognize appeal because of how popular they were.
Right,
Because
right, definitely.
stuff from like things from Sailor Moon, like a whole lot of people will answer it quickly or actually know what you're talking about, versus
Right.
maybe Tenchi Muyo or Lovina.
Right. I would say though, like, um, it's funny because like recently it seems like animes that were old back in the day are like they're kind of going the game industry route. And what I mean that by that way, I mean like they're like being remade for modern audiences.
Yeah,
As of like the new Lupin the Third,
yeah,
like recently, like I think a year or two ago, was like a reboot of that series and kind of reintroduce people to like what Lupin was. It still is. So that's cool. I mean, like I think that you would definitely get those type of people who are like who've watched anime for a very very long time. And particularly like particular older ones, but it's some old animes like it's kind of universal. Like everybody knows what Sailor Moon is. Well, I would hope so. I mean,
yeah,
we'll say in 20 years we'll see what happens, but
yeah.
um, yeah, definitely.
And also, along with that, I realized that I guess I am getting older because
Yeah, the scary truth.
Yeah, I realized that I answered when I answered certain questions about certain shows, and I was like, "Well, dang, I'm the only one here that actually watched it or know what it was."
Yeah, yeah, yes, yeah. We're getting there, man. Yeah.
The next thing I went to do was one of the next things I did was roam around meet and greet with the vendors,
Mm.
and there were a lot of creative people there, and a lot of industrious people there too, like real business savvy, because some of them um, they are able to import this import stuff directly from Japan or companies over there over here.
Right,
They do
right.
actually do business with them.
Mhm.
And one of them is Red Sting Productions, Anime on Stage. They they actually go to Japan sometimes and add to bring back products from there. Another group, another person was now they had a whole section across one of the vendor areas from one end to the other, up until the
Mhm.
previous people that I just mentioned,
Mhm.
and they included action figures from Final Fantasy X,
Sick.
Canon,
Mhm.
the original Dojoshi.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
They had on it. Somebody
it
Dojishi.
it's hard to yeah, it's hard to pronounce, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Self-publishing work.
Cool. Awesome.
um, and they also had like actual snack foods and pastries from Japan too.
Sick.
I know that it was cool. I couldn't bother to buy any at that time because
Mm.
I had my attention got caught elsewhere when I saw Rurouni Kenshin keychain and a few other things that
Nice.
I saw that I wanted, like a miniature Jazz from G1 Transformers. I had to get
Sick.
them. I had to get a Urahara plushie.
Nice.
I know I had to. I had to. And then later on, there was a really well done um post um paper size, like I won't say poster size, but letter size artwork of One Punch Man, and it
Nice.
was the last one, so I went ahead and bought it.
That's awesome.
And while me and my roommate were watching anime after that day I bought it, every new
Mhm.
episode that came out, I would grab that poster, and as the theme song played and got to that one punch part, I held up the poster. I had to
Nice.
do it. There is no shame in it.
That's cool. I like the fact you just embraced it.
Yes, I had to. I mean, he even got the theme song. I mean, the full theme song. So when he surprised me with it in the car one day,
Uh-huh.
I just got into it and pumped my fist up in the air, even though I ended up hitting something in the car. But hey, it's One Punch Man. When you
Right.
got an awesome opening like that, you gotta feel it.
Yep. You gotta feel it.
Hmm.
You just gotta raise your fist in the air and just start singing One Punch Man
Hmm.
song.
Yes.
Just go nuts. That's cool though. I like that. That's awesome. How much was the poster, by the way? Out of curiosity.
How much was the poster?
Yeah.
Hmm. Was it 8 or 10?
I want to guess and say it's 10 usually. Unless you got it for like a discount.
Um, I believe I don't think that one. I don't think I got it at a discount. Now the other merchandise I mentioned, I did get it for a discount because the lady gave it, bundled it for me.
Nice, awesome.
So yeah, I believe the One Punch Man poster was 10. Yeah, it was. And then I also got I couldn't help myself. I had a I wanted a bookmark of Major Kusanagi,
Mm-hmm.
but she didn't have anymore at the time. The lady I was talking to, because we actually got in a conversation about things that gamers get upset about when they do certain things to characters,
Mm-hmm.
and it would involve Zero Suit Samus and Laura Croft.
Ha, ha. That's great.
Oh, so that we ended up having a long conversation. We ended up going in a conversation about that,
Mm-hmm.
and because it started off when we was talking about the prospects of a live action Ghost in the Shell movie.
Ah, I see, I see. Which is happening, so...
I mean, maybe it'll come out fine, but I just can't picture Scarlett Johansson playing the character.
You know what? I'm gonna give it benefit of the doubt because like I'm still in the mindset of like wait until the movie comes out and see what the performance is. Okay, because like the last time, I mean, like obviously we had a huge outcry for the latest Joker. But then even prior to him, when they put Heath Ledger in as Joker, like everybody kind of doubted him. Was like, he can't play Joker. Why is he,
Mm-hmm.
being put as Joker? And then like he showed up and did one hell of a performance in the movie. So like I'm holding out, that I think she'll do a good job. But we'll see. I could be wrong. So
Mm-hmm.
not like Hollywood, screwed up already with comics, but it can happen.
Yeah. I want. It just concerns me. I mean, you got people that are that are like are on the like about the look too, but I
Mhm.
knew they were going to do that regardless. Because the simple fact they want a person with a name out there to help sell the movie.
Yeah. Mhm.
Even though many of the people that was a suggestion that the actress to play the role, she really could pull off the look easily.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to wait and see and watch. But the track record in the movie industry disappoints me right now. They don't really give me much to look forward to, considering the past ones, the past mistakes and whatnot.
Right, right, definitely.
I mean, the Street Fighter movies, uh,
Yeah.
the Chun Li one could have been better, but for some strange reason, they. I mean, Michael Clark Duncan was an awesome Balrog, but
Mhm. Yeah. We'll see. We'll definitely see how that goes. But yeah. So, anyway,
mm,
yeah. So, I mean, I'll ask this question again, like I did for the last convention. But what were some of the things you took out of Aniwave? And it could be positive or negative. So.
okay. What I really took out of it was, the, and this applies to not only it but the other conventions I've been to so far,
Mhm.
or recent year and within the recent 2 years,
Mhm.
past 2 years, is that when you got dedicated fans and people working together to bring this to other fans,
Mhm.
they really work hard. They
Mhm.
really, really work hard. And I can see like with some of them like the fatigue setting in, and some of them with the stress and the frustration trying to make sure everything goes work, but yeah, they don't let it get to them. They just keep going through there to make sure that everybody that enjoys the same thing, that have the same likes that they do, enjoy
Mhm.
themselves.
Mhm.
And I really appreciate them for that. And not just for the staff at Aniwave, but also at other conventions that I've been to.
Right, definitely. It's working at at a convention, any convention for that matter, does take a lot of work, and putting one together on top of that is a lot more harder work than I think people know out there. Some of these conventions, I mean, like this past year, we've seen a lot of conventions come and go. We've seen conventions had blew up this past year in terms of like how it was not organized as it should. Um, and it's a detriment to like running a convention is not that easy at all because there's so many factors you gotta factor into when running a convention. So yeah, it's great to hear that. Sorry, it's great to hear that that was one of the big things you took out of it. What exactly kind of made you think that though? What was there a moment anyway that happened in front of you that you saw or you heard exactly what they're doing behind the scenes, or what kind of made you come to that conclusion?
Um, let's see. A like when security was trying to make sure that some of the vendors were having their stuff taken care of, and things that like the equipment and whatnot being make sure that it was returned, make sure that it was where it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
The guy in charge kept this stuff. I mean, kept himself cool about it, even though even though to me the person was really being edgy about it. That he was trying to help, but he kept his composure, which I really respect. And in other areas where seeing um, Adachi, the director, and Miss J, who I believe is the co-director, help guide through the other events such as the cosplay contest and making sure that prizes were given out for those that won and the handling of other things, like making sure certain things are cleared away for people to get through.
Right.
And I really looked at it and saw how hard they worked, and I mean, they didn't give up or show that they were tired to when they were dealing with people.
Mm. I see.
So I believe it's more so how they kept themselves together and focused.
Gotcha. Okay. Um. Yeah, yeah, and that's really cool to see, and that's really cool to definitely admire. And that's really cool. Good stuff on the anyway staff. Definitely. I think they're the unsung heroes of any anime convention, really. But yeah, that's that's awesome. Um, so now that you mentioned that, what what are some things you feel like um could have done better this year, um, than they previous did?
Um, let's see. Let's see. Um, I think they probably, if they're able for next year, since they're planning a 2-day convention,
Mm-hmm.
to have a second entry point where to help break up the line for people to come in, for tickets and whatnot. That way, they all don't have to go to just one area. I mean, yeah, you want to keep them from wandering around and not just let anybody in that not supposed to be in or haven't paid to get in. But yeah, at the same time, it's like if we have opened another booth for them to come into, like
Mm-hmm.
at stadiums where like you have ticket booths, like there's more than one. I
Right.
would think that if they could able to have another one set up to where they can help ease on the track, ease on the amount of people, ease back the line,
Mm-hmm.
because if you see in the gallery that as soon as I finish getting it posted, and two of the pictures you see that the line goes far outside,
Mm-hmm.
and like this year the weather was nice, But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes in this state, that ain't always the case, especially in December. Now, recently, it's been unusually warm. I mean, we've been hit with 70, 80 degree weather. When just last year around
Right.
this time, it was freezing.
Right. I see.
So, I would think it will help out in that sense of turning out the traffic.
I see. Was it just one booth doing the registration? There wasn't another booth that was helping out, or?
Where they were at is a large circular table or
Mm-hmm.
desk, and you have
Mm-hmm.
more than one person working there, but
Mm-hmm.
which funnels all the traffic to them before anybody can go anywhere else. But being that like last year, like they have been getting bigger and bigger.
Mm-hmm.
After a while, I will, you don't really want that line getting very, very long and wrapping around outside at the waterfront.
Right.
So my suggestion would be opening having a similar spot open up to help alleviate the flow, to help to help the turnover with the line.
Yeah, definitely. And there's one thing I think that um I wouldn't say is it's a deal breaker, or don't want to say like annoys people, but like when it comes to registration for lines, um, that is something that I think one of the key areas a convention should focus on, because there's definitely a moment for me. I can't remember what year was was. I think a couple years ago, but basically there was a time at Fanime that I went to, and Fanime is the fourth biggest convention in the U.S. And it is in San Jose every year. One of the issues happened where they set up the registration in another building, um, but the lines were so long, like literally, like people were waiting there 5 to 6 hours in a line just to get their badge for the convention. And I remember I had to go to the line. Oh, I was pressed. I already got a badge, but I had to get a 1 day badge if I wanted to sell anything in the swap booth.
Mm.
And I waited for like around 3 or 4 hours in the line just to get a 1 day badge. It was ridiculous, and people were like really infuriated with what happened. Um, so then, later on the year after, they had somebody from Anime Expo come up and help them like organize. Like, look, this is how you know, do this. Like, this is how you organize how to get people signed up, badge ready, and ready to go. And whatever system they had last year or last time did not work. Also, because they were understaffed as well. That's another reason too. But yeah, take lesson. There's definitely something to be learned there. And like, anyway, like there's if definitely don't make it a thing. If it's like first if it happens once, like one time out of like I don't know how many years anyway has been around
Oh,
or continue to
it's
be around.
been around I want to say close to 7.
Oh wow,
But
okay,
but the recent couple of years, last few years, it's been getting bigger because when it first started off, it was a film festival.
right,
But
gotcha.
it's just that when I looked at it, the line wasn't very long, but at the same time, it made me remember back to the first convention I went to, and I thought about it because the first convention I went to was on the Middle Tennessee Anime Convention, and
Right,
this is
right.
before I even met you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And the lines were long there too, going up the block. And I said, now when I was walking up to the Aniwave this year, and I noticed how the line was. I mean, it was still early though, but the line was getting long, but not too long. I was saying to myself, but probably if they get a large turnout this year, they're probably gonna have to invest in getting something to help chop down the size of the line.
Right, right.
Because I want them to get bigger, but at the same time, I want them to be able to be efficient and when they as they grow.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, yeah, it's definitely like I mean, like it definitely does hurt a con, whether a convention wants to believe it or not. And those people will remember next, following year if it's the same case. But if it's like a once, like if it happens like maybe once, a year, then or what I added it like 10 or 15 years, then it's fine. But it's definitely look out for. I mean, another case I would say is look at Anime Expo. Anime Expo this past year was another case where people were waiting outside, and in that instance, people were waiting outside, in the heat on day zero to get their badge, and um, uh, they not all of them got their badge on that day because of the long lines. Not to mention the heat exhaustion that some of the people were dealing with. They were giving out waters, yes, but like even still, um, there were at least be a tent or something to kind of cover people in line. So like, there's definitely has been issues, and like like no anime convention or any convention is uh, bulletproof when it comes to these causes, to these incidents. So yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you said it would happen at Animazement?
Anime
Oh,
Expo.
Anime Expo. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's definitely a problem that no convention is foolproof on. At least not yet. The one day, the day every convention's like that, where like there's no lines. Oh man, that'd be the dream. That'd be heaven.
Yeah, I mean, that's something just just going for overstretching. I'm just like, you know what? I want you guys to be successful as much as possible, and
Mm-hmm.
because y'all got a good thing going on, and I will hate for anything to interrupt it. It's,
Right. Definitely.
I mean, if there's ways that you can like make it easier and ease certain things that can prevent them from becoming problems as you grow, go for it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Definitely. In terms of like cosplay, what particular cosplay stood out to you at Aniwave?
Which one particular stood out to me?
Yeah.
Let's see. We had the Jedi and the Stormtrooper. Um, we had a female Cyclops. She looked pretty good. We had an Elma Frost. She actually gave me her card.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I'll put that in soon. We had Snake. He was there, and he had his box with him, so I actually got him putting the box on in the box and then popping out of it. I mean, I had to do it. Um,
Nice.
we had a Dr. Stein. He kind of photobombed me twice, so I went ahead and got him by himself.
Nice.
Uh, let's see. Who else? Oh, well, we had a couple of Sailor Scouts. They were lovely. Um, and you'll see their pictures soon. Miss Adachi was a good Chun-Li.
Sick.
Yeah, she was great at it. Um, who else? Who else stood out? Um, let's see. There was a Rogue, but I missed her. And I'm like, dang, I got the Cyclops. I didn't get Rogue. Um, we had Maka and I want to believe it's Soul, but I don't think it is. I believe it's Black Star that was with her this year. Because last year I believe she had Soul with her. Yeah, no, never mind. Yeah, that's Maka and Black Star.
Nice. Awesome.
And we had Misa. We had Misa Amane. She was nice.
Mm-hmm.
And we had from Kill la Kill, um, Ryota, her friend, and the girl that killed her dad.
Nice.
And I
Sick.
believe, I want to say the dude that was the disciplinarian guy was there, but I don't think that was his cosplay. I believe he was Germany from Italia that was just hanging out with.
Ah, I see.
But either way,
Got you.
he was, I believe he was supposed to be in Germany because of how his uniform was. So he was hanging out with the ladies, as Germany should.
Right, right, of course.
But we had a samurai that won the, I believe he was supposed to be in Samurai Jack. He won the Melee tournament from Smash Brothers.
Ha! Cool. Awesome.
that was fun to see. One of the vendors, they were a Team Rocket couple. That was fun. And we had the Joker and Death or the Grim Reaper. But yeah,
Sick. That's pretty awesome.
yeah. We had a bunch of awesome people dressed in great cosplays and whatnot. It was fun to watch and talk to some of them too. Like the lady that was on Death or the Grim Reaper, she was telling me how long it took her to actually do some of that we get the fabric together for what she wanted, and the skull mask underneath her veil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I want to say she was wearing a skull mask under there. Well, yeah, because her voice was somewhat muffled by it.
Mm-hmm.
But she told me it took quite a couple of hours to get it done. Then we had a guy that was on the panel. He was like the elf from the Hobbit. I want to say he was the ancestor of the one that you see in the original Lord of the Rings trilogy, or the
Hmm.
leader.
Right, right.
I believe that's how he. I believe that's what he explained to me, and he they got one of the head security guy. He gets involved in what I was talking about earlier with the LARPers. Um, when they host battles with each other with the Nerf weapons. He was
Right,
talking about
right.
how much he would love to have him on his team because of how tall he was. They just give him a pike or a spear and just have him reach over and down.
That's
And
hilarious.
I know he can just stand back and end the match right there. You know,
Mm.
that was cool.
Wow, that's awesome. That's pretty sick and hilarious at the same time. Cool. Awesome. So I would say, and I think Andy already said this already, but like overall thoughts on Aniwave.
Overall thoughts. I enjoyed myself. They surprised me um with the events that they had this year. The
Mm-hmm.
cosplayers outdid themselves. Many of them did. The vendors came out and had products that I was not expecting to see, and many more of them did. And I'll be showing some of them later when I get the chance. And I'm looking forward to next year since they intend to make it a 2-day event. So if they do, I would like to see what they have in store, or who they can have come and visit again. Because I believe, because this past year they had they had a voice actress from, I want to say, I think it was voice actress. What's her name again? She she was on, I believe, yeah, she was on a Comedy Got Killed,
Mm.
and if I'm not mistaken, she. I'm sorry,
No, that's
because
alright.
she was one of the ones I missed,
Mm.
and that's another thing. Trying to, I know it's an impossible thing, but trying to see everything about a convention is very tiresome. Like trying to be everywhere and cover everything, because it's like,
Yeah.
what do I focus on?
Right, right. Definitely. I mean, I guess kind of some things we've run into as well over here in California. When it comes to the rest of MSP. Um, but you know, that's just kind of the way that we live or the work we do. So
Mm,
I know that feeling all too well.
yeah, though, but there's a good chance you might have somebody there helping you. In
True.
my
Very
case,
true. Yeah. At least you moved to California, you know. Then no, that's a Yeah, that'd be cool. But yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen for a bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I want to thank you for taking your time out of your day to talk to me and tell everybody at home how your experience was at Aniwave and at Crystal Coast Con.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Before we go, where can they find you on the internet?
On the internet. I haven't been really using anything recently. Um, I do put on my business or work-related email on the MSP site. Usually at the end of whatever I post for
Mm-hmm.
immediate contacts. It's written at the end of whatever I post. So in this case, the galleries that are coming up, you will see my email contact if you have any questions. Um, I also use Google Plus, Ryuzaki, um, and that's a definite reference too. So,
Awesome. Good stuff. Cool. Awesome. You can follow me personally on Twitter at Definitive Naruto. You can follow work that me and Chris do on our website at missionstarpodcast.com. You can listen to this podcast on the site, or if you listen to this to on iTunes or on Stitcher, or both on iTunes and Stitcher as well. So definitely check it out on the podcast feeds. Um, so yeah, again, it's 2016, a new year for MSP, and it's gonna be a lot of conventions on the rise, and we're definitely going to be back in the, I said back in the saddle, but like back in the grind of things when it comes to convention coverage this coming year. So with that, Happy New Year, have a happy holidays, and we will see you guys next time.